And Cooper Flagg is done. How did it look? Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, I almost forgot to remove the desktop audio there, so I got it just in the middle of the intro. Anyways, Ace Bailey, Cooper Flagg is done. Let's talk about it. So this was, I don't think they've really played each other outside of like McDonald's All-American. I think even in that one, they might have played on the same team. I can't remember, but it was kind of fun to see Ace Bailey versus Cooper Flagg. The only thing is that Cooper Flagg played point in this for a lot of the game, and we didn't really get a lot of Ace Bailey one-on-one. Ace Bailey also left this one in the second quarter with knee soreness. After the game, we heard from Will Hardy, and he said that Ace has a little bit of tendonitis in both of his knees, so we'll see if that's something they manage. That may just be a little bit of wear and tear that he goes through throughout the season, but they're going to want to be careful with that. I want our beloved rookie to be healthy. So let's just dive into this one, guys. This might not be as long a one. We'll see. Although every time I say that, it goes pretty long. So this one, probably the most interesting aspect of this in terms of, well, let's talk about the Mavericks really quick. Cooper Flagg did not shoot the ball particularly well in this one. That may be just from being a little bit of, he's played multiple games coming into this. He may be a little bit tired. He still put up numbers, and the thing that makes Cooper Flagg nice is he is going to impact the game in a positive way, no matter what, and especially on the defensive end. Offensively, 3 for 13 from the field. The three-point shot was not falling, 1 for 6. We'll see how that goes throughout the season. I think he'll be fine. He's the type of guy that's just going to work until he becomes incredible at that. We'll see if it's just a one-game thing or if it's a season-long thing or what. But just something to watch. Anyway, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He just stuffs the stat sheet. He is a winning player, so he's just going to do things that help you win the game no matter what. The other guy that, it was interesting to watch Cooper Flagg with Anthony Davis with a center in Derek Lively. You can tell, and I know this is just one preseason game, and it's the Jazz defense that looks a little bit better to me. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jazz defense goes from 30 to maybe like 27. If we're really improving, maybe 25, who knows? But what I did notice is there's just, when you have Derek Lively on the floor, Anthony Davis, and if Cooper Flagg's three-point shot is not falling, there's just not a lot of three-point shooting for this Dallas Mavericks team. You look at this starting lineup, 0 for 4 for P.J. Washington, 2 for 5 from 3. Anthony Davis actually shot it well from 3. Lively didn't take a 3. Klay Thompson, 0 for 3, and then Cooper Flagg, 1 for 6. So an issue for them is just going to be three-point shooting, and they need Cooper Flagg and that three-point shot to fall. When Kyrie Irving comes back, that'll help a little bit, but they just don't have a lot of floor spreaders. This is going to be a very defense-first team. We'll see how they go. That's what their general manager wanted, I guess. All right, let's talk Utah Jazz. We were just talking about them a little bit. It was the first time we got to see the starting lineup with Lauri Markkanen back. It was a Keonte George, Ace Bailey at the 2, Lauri Markkanen at the 3, Taylor Hendricks at the 4, or however you want to flip those two. And then you had Jusuf Nurkic starting at the 5. I really think it's interesting, Utah, how things are running with Kevin Love and Jusuf Nurkic. They have a three-point shooter at the top of the three-point line who passes the ball to cutters. A lot of cutting for this Jazz team. The Jazz starting unit shot it pretty well from the field. 50% from Hendricks, 44 from Markkanen, Nurkic 57. Ace Bailey didn't shoot it quite as well, but he was just in the game for 10 minutes, 1 for 5 from the field. And then Keonte George 3 for 8. Yeah, it's just a reminder, if someone's not shooting it well, it may be because they're hurting. And obviously that was what was going on with Ace Bailey. Taylor Hendricks, his numbers are a little different. He played 28 minutes, but a lot of his scoring came in the second half, and Markkanen did not play in the second half. He was 6 for 12 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. He did have 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. There was not a lot of flow with these three. All 3 of them are not probably high-level playmakers yet. Ace Bailey is he's looking very good as a scorer. We know that Lauri Markkanen is more of a half-court catch-and-shoot off-ball scorer, and then Taylor Hendricks is also similar. So you've got a lot of playmaking responsibility that goes to Keonte George, and the way they're alleviating that a little bit is Jusuf Nurkic and Kevin Love are doing a lot of they're the offensive hub in a lot of ways. So you have lots of guys cutting the basket. It's a great way to get everyone moving and open and relieve some of that pressure from Keonte George to just be doing all of the playmaking. And George has done a pretty good job tonight. He actually, probably his worst game so far in the preseason. Yet the 2 games before were really nice, but tonight, only 2 assists, not quite as good. But for Taylor Hendricks, he just did not see the ball very much when Markkanen and Ace Bailey were on the floor. So it's something to watch, but feels like the fit there is a little awkward. And, he was looking a lot better when Markkanen wasn't on the floor. I'm sure Markkanen would look a lot better without. They kind of are a little bit redundant, to be honest. It's like 2 power forwards, and then Ace Bailey is a small forward, and then you have a guard. And so it's just an interesting lineup. We'll probably see a lot more of it, and it'll be interesting when Walker Kessler comes back. He has shoulder bursitis, which doesn't sound as quick to return from as you might think. How does this offense look? Because I don't know if you're looking at Walker Kessler being this offensive hub. The thing about Kevin Love and Nurkic is they can hit the 3. And with Walker Kessler at the top of the 3-point line, the big is just going to drop off, and that takes away that cutting to the basket. So you're going to see a lot more kind of pick and roll heavy offense with Walker Kessler. I don't know. It's interesting. We mentioned it. Lauri Markkanen comes back. He's 4 for 9 from the field. He missed all 3 of his threes. He 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He looked pretty good. He's just not as athletic side to side laterally as you would hope, but he does some nice things. He's a nice player. We'll see how this season goes along, but they have him marked as the power forward in this one. So I guess Taylor Hendricks was the small forward. They're interchangeable. But it was an awkward fit. It's going to take time to see how those guys kind of mesh and how things look, but it's going to be an interesting couple of months to see how that meshes. And then trade deadline comes, we'll see what happens. But Jusuf Nurkic, we mentioned him, 4 for 7 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. He was a +8 in this game where the Jazz lose by 13. So he was a +8. Nurkic has been solid for this Jazz team. It's been interesting how good he's been for them. Honestly, probably rehashing his kind of value a little bit. But yeah, 3 for 5 from 3. He's hitting his threes, just 2 for 4 from the free throw line, but he had 15 rebounds in this one, 13 points, 2 assists, and a steal, and he's passing it better than I thought he would. So it's kind of nice to see him out there. He's doing some nice things. He is not quick. So if teams are getting him out of the paint, he is not quick to recover. But on a team like the Mavericks, where they have, Lively, who's just going to be a roll to the basket center, then it's not as difficult for him. So not too big a deal. Ace Bailey, it was a bummer that we didn't get to see more of him tonight. He had 3 points. He had a nice catch and shoot 3, but he missed 4 of his other shots. They were some of those mid-rangers that he typically takes, but obviously he was pulled. His knee was not feeling great. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe he'll play next game. I hope so, because it would be fun to watch, but you want to be careful. You don't want any injuries in preseason. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe he plays like the first half in the next game and then rests the second half, or perhaps doesn't play at all. But bummer, would have loved to see some Ace Bailey, Cooper Flagg moments. We just didn't get to see it. Keonte George, he had a little bit of a struggle tonight. He was a -16, 3 for 8 from the field. This was a tough one because this is a good Dallas Mavericks defense. You can tell this Dallas Mavericks defense is going to be solid this year. The question for Dallas is how they can score. But they did make life difficult for George, who did get 3 free throws in this one. I always like to see if he's getting more free throws, but not a lot to say. 3 for 8 from the field. He took some pretty good shots. The 3-point shot was just not falling tonight. It would be really nice to see that 3-point shot be more efficient this year. He needs it. If he's going to earn this starting guard position, especially with whoever the Jazz draft next year. He's really got to prove it in some different ways. One of them is defensively, which he's looked a little bit better, and then also with just his efficiency. And that efficiency is going to get better when he's just looking to pass the ball more. But when he has those open threes, he's got to knock them down. Tonight, doesn't mean it's not going to happen as the season goes on, but something to watch. Kevin Love has been pretty good for this Jazz team, although he had the worst plus minus, so maybe not. Tonight, he was just 1 for 4. He took 4 threes and missed them. He did have 3 rebounds and an assist, but I don't know how much you're going to get out of Kevin Love at this point. We shall see. But he's getting more minutes with the Jazz than I think he did at Miami, so that's something. It may rehash his value. We'll see. Cody Williams had kind of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde game. He had some moments where he missed 2 of these field goals at the rim that really should have been makes. He missed one where he kind of altered his shot because he was worried about it getting blocked and ended up missing it anyway. Just a reminder, just take your shot. And then he had another one where he just missed a layup as well. But he also had some moments on the defensive end where he looked pretty solid and created some nice plays. He ends this one with 3 rebounds. He had 2 assists and a steal. It's nice to see, and 2 blocks. So it's nice to see him putting more stats. That's a good sign because we've had a lot of games where Cody Williams was just invisible. This means he's impacting the game. And this is what you want to see. Right? So let's pull this down. If he's not doing that, then that gets really difficult to keep him on the floor. But if he's impacting defensively, that's great. He was only a -5 in a bad loss for the Jazz. Good sign. And one thing that he does do is he can handle the ball, and he's proving that he can handle the ball and drive. He has to make some better decisions, but he's looking better to me. People who are out on Cody Williams, I can see why you'd be that way. But personally, myself, I'm seeing some improvement. And tonight, you see that right here in this kind of hustle stats category and defensive stats. It's really nice to see. 2 block shots is great. A steal is great. That's stocks. Those are the nice ones. Those really impact the game. He also hit that corner 3. So if he can consistently hit shots more often and make better decisions on the offensive end while also impacting the game like this defensively, he's not far off from being a nice rotation player. And in all honesty, he might get some good starting minutes at some point, depending on injuries. If Ace Bailey's out, you might look at playing Cody Williams at the 2 because he's long, athletic, he can handle the ball, and if his shot's falling, then that's great. So, by the way, Cody Williams is still extremely young. This is not a player you give up on at all. 6'8" with his wingspan. He's only 20 years old. It's like the same age as Ace Bailey. So he's one of those guys that just do not give up on. He just needs time. What is he, 2 years away from being 2 years away? Maybe. But he's definitely got the tools and the physical ability to be something. We'll see if it pans out. But he looks like he's improving to me, which is nice, right? I don't know if Cody Williams is ever going to be a superstar, but can he be a nice 3-and-D rotation player that can handle the ball a little bit? I think so. So nice to see. Walter Clayton Jr. was probably the best player for the Jazz tonight. And I say that for someone who went 1 for 7 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. I guess that's between him and Bryce Sensabaugh, although we've got to talk a little bit about Sensabaugh. A little bit. The shot was not falling for Walter Clayton, but look what he did in these categories. 6 assists, 5 rebounds. He had 3 steals and almost 4, and just 3 turnovers. Nice to see. He played that point with the backup unit really well. Like, really well. And if you see him doing that, it's really nice. I don't know. He's the type that he's going to figure it out with that jump shot. And he's been a good shooter, and he's a winner. And he plays tough. The -2 in a bad loss for the Jazz. And he honestly, even at the end of the game, you could tell he was frustrated with Sensabaugh over something. And I kind of have a feeling what. But he played well tonight. And so nice to see Walter Clayton slowly starting to figure things out. He's up against NBA length. And this is one of the biggest teams in the league. When Cooper Flagg's playing point guard and you got Anthony Davis and Derek Lively, that is a big team. PJ Washington and Najee Marshall and all these big guys. I guess Najee Marshall might not be quite as big, but that is a big lineup. And for him to figure this out and already starting to knock down shots, he does look like Fred VanVleet to me. He really does. The Jazz really like him, according to everything we've heard. So really nice to see how well he's playing. Sensabaugh does what Sensabaugh does, and that's score the basketball, but not much else. And he gets a little bit of visors on. He is such a good scorer, but he's got to figure out how to do it within the flow of the offense. And sometimes it is just him taking shots. He goes 6 for 10 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3. That's nice. And he was just a -1. So also a good plus-minus in a game the Jazz lost by like 13 or 14, whatever it was. But he's got to do a little bit more. He did have 3 rebounds in this one, which is nice, and an assist. Let's see, 1 assist, but nothing else. The defense has got to be better. He's got to be a little bit more willing to move the ball within the offense. But when he does shoot the ball, it's great. And Sensabaugh's still learning and developing as well. And that's what he's got to do. What's nice is that he is a lights-out shooter. He is lights out. And so when he's on the floor, the defense has to take account. And he can also do some other things. What did the Jazz say? They want him to be a shooter that can score. And that's what he does. He's kind of a three-point shooter that can also drive and kind of he did a nice play. He drove on Cooper Flagg and drew the foul on Flagg tonight, which was nice to see. And those were those 2 free throws he took. But he does a lot of nice things. He's a nice offensive player. He just needs to be a little bit more well-rounded, and you'd like to see him be more impactful on the defensive end. We saw Kyle Filipowski come back from injury. He might still be recovering from whatever it was he was hurting from. He goes 1 for 6 in this one, 0 for 1 from 3. Did not impact in a big way. He was a +2, which is nice to see. Or no, -6. That's Svi Mikhailiuk. Svi Mikhailiuk is a +2. I don't have much to say about Svi Mikhailiuk. But Filipowski, so we'll see how he comes back. He did play with his second unit and will surely play with the second unit as the season goes on. But, it's different summer league than it is playing against the Dallas Mavericks and Anthony Davis. He looked okay out there to me. He just, he might be still recovering from his injury. It's his first game back, and it might be a little bit of game shape stuff if he's not been able to move around very much. So he'll get into game shape and get back to 100%, and we'll watch him. Svi Mikhailiuk, I don't have much to say. For some reason, the Jazz play him a lot, and, it's fine. But I hope we see less Svi Mikhailiuk minutes this season when we have all these other guys healthy. And by the way, we got Isaiah Collier coming back, Walker Kessler coming back, George Niang coming back. I mean, we probably see George Niang, and we didn't see Kyle Anderson. That's interesting. Probably see George Niang take those Mikhailiuk minutes when Niang comes back. Although Niang basically plays power forward, and that's about it. So we shall see. Guys, it's my birthday tomorrow, so we're going to go a little shorter tonight. I'm a little... it's funny. I do the live streams during the games, and if you guys like that, that's great. It's a little tiring. So we'll see. I'll keep doing them. Let me know in the comments if you guys like them or not. And we're going back to memberships with the comments on these. I'm really wanting to focus on really rewarding the members of this channel. You guys are so generous for supporting me, and I want to kind of give back to you guys. Plus, for the members, I also put out a members-only Q&A. So if you're a member, you can go watch that. And we answered a lot of these different questions. And I think I guessed the starting lineup correctly. But anyways, go and you can check that out. And if you'd like to watch that, you can join the channel and be a part of the chat. And some more things that we'll probably try to do with this channel. But anyways, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of you for your support, especially the members and especially the All-Stars. I can't forget to give All-Stars their shout-outs. I almost forgot. And I guess, do we want to do a simulator? I guess we do it. It just hurts my heart when we lose. Tankathon. Right now, they're ranking the Jazz as the 1. And by the way, from what we saw today, I think that's probably accurate. I don't think the Jazz are in any trouble. Here, let's turn this down just a little. I don't think the Jazz are in any trouble of not being in the bottom 5. I think that's a given. When Walker Kessler comes back, we shall see. But let's see what happens. All right, Utah drops to 5. We're used to that. Portland gets the number 1 pick. Holy cow. And then Chicago the 2. We'll see. Payne. All right, let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. Let's give a shout out to See Ya, Lex the Later, Jordan the Goat Best Roll, Ryan Edward Perry, The Legend, Christian House Money to Haas, Robert Hall of Fame, Cam Bam, thank you ma'am, Cam Chin 3, I Believe in Steve, Jazz Exile, Austin R. Grant, Editor Extraordinaire, flipping the script for Filipowski and Patrick Akubo, the connoisseur. Like always, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you tomorrow, probably. It's my birthday. Turning 42.